Every day, the woman brought dumplings she made at home to the cafeteria for lunch. Unexpectedly, this caught the eye of a foreign technician the factory had hired for a huge salary. Ever since he was little, he'd heard that Chinese dumplings were absolutely delicious. But he'd always lived overseas, so he'd never had the chance to try them. So the foreigner immediately told the translator beside him that he wanted to trade his own food for the woman's dumplings. No way. Harris wants to trade his Western food for your dumplings. Is that okay? At first, the woman hesitated a little, but in the end, she generously gave her dumplings to the foreigner. To her surprise, though, he looked really uncomfortable about it. Because in their eyes, if the other person won't accept your food, then it feels awkward to eat theirs too. After hearing the translator explain it, the woman stopped being polite and traded food with him. What she didn't know was that this small, casual gesture was about to completely change her life. The next day, the woman, as usual, brought her homemade dumplings to the cafeteria. But the very next second, the foreigner showed up with bread and ham, wanting to trade with her again. But this time, the woman flat out turned him down, because she really wasn't used to Western food. Come on, no. One meal and it's over. If you keep doing this, you're gonna look like a beggar. As she said that, she picked up her dumplings and moved to the next table. She thought that would shake him off, but to her surprise, the foreigner shamelessly followed her over. The next second, he reached right into her lunchbox, grabbed a dumpling, and stuffed it into his mouth. As he ate, he kept marveling at how delicious Chinese food was. Good, good, yeah, The way he looked made the woman burst out laughing. At the same time, since she really couldn't get used to Western food, she had no choice but to take it home for her daughter to eat. Huh? How could you bring home something this expensive today? I traded our dumplings for it. You traded our dumplings for this? Yeah, Mom, we seriously scored big today. What do you mean, scored big? That Harris guy, the one who traded with you. That American guy? Yeah, Mom, that American guy is loaded. What do you mean? Then the daughter explained to her mother that this little piece of bread alone was worth as much as a whole big pot of their dumplings, not to mention that huge plate of ham. The woman was shocked when she heard that. But what shocked her wasn't how expensive the food was. It was the fact that she felt she'd taken advantage of him. So the next day, when the foreigner came again to trade with her, she refused no matter what. Why? Because it's not worth it. What did you say? Which one? What? No, I mean the bread. The bread isn't worth what? No, I mean the dumplings. Since they didn't speak the same language, the two of them ended up gesturing back and forth. But in the end, the foreigner misunderstood and thought she meant his bread was cheap. So he could only walk away, head hanging low. Unexpectedly, the factory leadership saw the whole thing. Because they held the foreigner in extremely high regard and wanted to learn more advanced skills, the factory decided to have the woman become his personal cook and make dumplings for him every day. I talked to the factory. They want you to take care of him. Why me? He's an expert we paid a fortune to bring here. Nothing can go wrong with his daily life, so naturally, they need someone more suitable to look after him. There are so many people in the factory. Why pick me of all people? Seriously. Because it's you. You're a party member, a cadre, a model worker, and you were even a team leader in grade school. Who else has that many titles? So what you're saying is, this is some glorious mission the party is assigning me. Yeah, exactly. The woman originally wanted to refuse, but when she thought about the high pay, the extra time she'd have to care for her bedridden father, and the college tuition her daughter needed, she finally agreed after thinking it over carefully. And just like that, following the factory's arrangement, the woman went to the foreigner's home every day to make dumplings for him and take care of his daily life. What she didn't expect was that under the same roof, the foreigner actually began to fall for this divorced Eastern woman. Not only did he love the dumplings she made, but to pursue her, he even gave her a box of chocolates. But the woman had never had chocolate in her life, so she had no idea what it meant when the foreigner gave it to her. Mom, I think he might be into you. Kid, don't talk nonsense. Why would he be into me? I'm judging from the movies, Mom, remember? Last time he gave you that huge piece of chocolate. So what about the chocolate? I've heard that overseas when a man gives a woman chocolate, it means that. But the woman didn't believe any of that.